Archangel Michael says, this message will shake something buried deep within your chest. There is a name echoing in your mind, a face that keeps returning like a sacred memory. You thought time and distance had erased their presence, but they never truly left, not even for a moment. Every heartbeat you felt that seemed too heavy was their soul whispering your name. Every sudden wave of emotion was a reflection of their unspoken thoughts about you. They have not moved on, even if they pretended to, even if they acted cold. Archangel Michael says, there is a divine secret hiding in this distance you feel. It's not rejection, and it's not that they love someone else, it's something far more painful and hidden. This person stepped away not to hurt you, but to protect you from something they believed could destroy what you both shared. They have been carrying a silent burden, a truth they feared would make you see them differently. They loved you so much, they'd rather hurt themselves by staying away than risk tainting your view of them. The silence, the distance, it's not absence, it's their personal agony hidden behind a mask of strength. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They are not proud of what's been kept from you, but they didn't know how to reveal it. This person wakes up thinking about you and sleeps with the weight of everything they've never said. They wanted to be your forever, but felt like a storm that could only damage your peace. The reason for the distance will leave you breathless. It wasn't another person, nor was it betrayal, it was fear. Fear of being vulnerable, fear of past scars, fear that if you knew everything, you'd walk away. They loved you in a way that scared them because they'd never felt that depth before. It was new, overwhelming, and made them see every flaw in themselves as a danger to you. So they chose silence, hoping time would give them courage. Type Amen to get blessing 484. You've been thinking about them more recently because they're pulling your energy. They are spiritually drawn to you, unconsciously calling for your forgiveness and presence. You might even feel sudden emotions, chills, or pressure in your heart at random times. That's them reaching for you. They check your presence online but never speak. They look at your name and wonder what it would be like to call, to say sorry, to explain. But the guilt they carry is louder than their voice. This person has made mistakes they can't forgive themselves for. They didn't cheat or lie, but they gave up on the connection too quickly, believing they weren't worthy of you. And now that you've grown stronger, they feel even smaller in comparison. Type Amen to get blessing 527. They have conversations about you with people they trust. They speak of you like a ghost who left a beautiful mark. Their friends know your name, even if you never met them. What they never say out loud is how deeply they still wish to fix things. They've imagined 100 different ways to tell you everything, but all end with fear winning. Their heart is still yours, it's their courage that went missing. Archangel Michael says, a divine alignment is forming. There will be a moment when truth will break through this silence. You will hear from them, but it won't be the way you expect. Type Amen to get blessing 686. They might not start with an apology, they will start with a question about how you've been. Because they need to feel that you're still warm, that you haven't closed the door. And once they know you haven't hardened, the flood of truth will follow. They might tell you about the depression they hid, or about the family issue they never wanted to burden you with, or the trauma that made them feel like damaged goods in front of your light. They were scared you'd see them differently if you knew their full story. They admired you so much, they couldn't bear being the one to disappoint you. So instead of letting you in, they pushed you away and suffered alone. Type Amen to get blessing 712. What they don't know is that your soul always knew they were suffering. You felt it, you just didn't have the words to explain the ache. Because your spirit and theirs are still entangled in ways unseen. They want to return, but they don't want to come back broken. So right now, they are healing behind the scenes, silently preparing for that day. They are learning how to be whole, so they don't hurt you when they finally reach out. Archangel Michael says, "You've passed many tests of patience and unconditional love. The energy you've held for them, even in their absence, has helped them more than you'll ever know. Your silent love has kept them from giving up entirely." Type Amen to get blessing 833. You might be tempted to move on completely, thinking it's all over. But something keeps you rooted, some invisible thread won't let you forget. That's because this isn't just a human bond, it's soul deep. Your connection goes beyond this lifetime. You've met them in other lives, and this life was meant for reunion through divine timing. That's why everything feels so intense, so unshakable. They've dreamed of you recently, often waking up with tears. You appear in their dreams just the way you looked the last time you smiled at them. It's those moments that remind them you were the only peace they've ever truly felt. Type Amen to get blessing 921. They regret not fighting harder for you. They regret listening to fear over love. And they regret every day that passed without your name on their tongue. They don't expect you to wait, but they're hoping you haven't forgotten them entirely. Even the thought of you being with someone else breaks them inside. Yet they won't interfere, because they want your happiness more than their own comfort. This person will try again, but they may do it awkwardly. They may show up with clumsy words or indirect signs. Because deep inside, they're terrified that they no longer deserve you. Type Amen to get blessing 1044. They are rehearsing conversations in their mind even now. They're asking themselves, how do I explain the silence without sounding like a coward? But one day soon, they'll stop overthinking and finally reach out. You might get a message late at night, when they feel the loneliest. Or a random old photo they send you with no caption. It will be a quiet attempt to reopen a door they once closed. Archangel Michael says, "Love delayed is not love denied." You were never truly forgotten, you were just kept sacred. And now, the energy between you is heating up again, preparing for a divine return. Type Amen to get blessing 1177. They are ready to come back differently, not just to be with you, but to grow with you. They've realized love isn't about perfection, it's about truth. And their truth is that their heart has always belonged to you. They're not the same person who walked away. And you're not the same person who waited. This reunion, when it happens, will be between two stronger souls. They are finally starting to forgive themselves. And in that forgiveness, they're finding the courage to love you the right way. You are their healing, their home, their missing piece. Type Amen to get blessing 1244. They now understand that walking away from you didn't protect you, it only shattered you both in silence. They thought time would numb the feelings, but time only carved your name deeper into their soul. Even the smallest reminders of you, your scent, your laugh, your way of speaking, make their heart ache with longing. They've spoken to someone older recently, a mentor, a guide. And in that conversation, they admitted the one thing they've never said aloud: they never stopped loving you. They confessed that no one ever replaced you, not even close. They look strong on the outside, but their heart is bruised from holding so much in. Every time they hear your name, their stomach twists. Every time they scroll and see your image, they wonder what could have been if they had just stayed. Type Amen to get blessing 1388. Archangel Michael says, the emotional distance between you two is shrinking. A divine pressure is building around their heart, pushing them toward confession. Because heaven knows, this connection deserves healing and truth. There's an apology forming in their throat, desperate to be spoken. They want to tell you everything, not just what happened, but what they felt during the silence. They want to explain why the distance wasn't a rejection, but a form of silent loyalty. They believed they had to fix themselves first before being worthy of your presence. They didn't want to hand you their chaos. So instead, they gave you nothing, hoping you'd understand one day. Type Amen to get blessing 1499. You didn't imagine their love, it was always there, but buried beneath fear. And now, that fear is slowly losing power as love rises again in their spirit. They're remembering why they fell for you, and why you were unlike anyone else. You challenged them, awakened them, inspired them. You made them feel seen, truly seen, in a way no one ever had. That frightened them, because it meant their mask could no longer hide who they really were. But now, they're tired of pretending. They're ready to be raw, real, and vulnerable. And they know if anyone can hold their truth with grace, it's you. Type Amen to get blessing 1655. They don't need to be perfect for you to accept them. But they needed to learn that for themselves, and that journey took time. They had to break down before they could rebuild the parts of themselves that were holding them back. They have cried for you. In rooms you'll never see. On nights when your silence felt like punishment, even though they caused it. They stare at old pictures, rereading old messages. Trying to decipher if there's still a piece of you that cares. Because your connection still breathes in them, it never died. Type Amen to get blessing 1733. There are signs all around them, songs, dreams, even strangers mentioning your name. The universe is echoing your memory back to them in waves. They can't escape it, and they no longer want to. They're realizing that love isn't about timing or perfection, it's about truth. And the truth is, no one ever made them feel as alive as you did. No one else fits into their soul the way you still do. They're preparing to speak, to reach, to show up. Even if their hands shake. Even if their voice breaks. Type Amen to get blessing 1819. They know it may not be easy for you to hear them out. They know they may have to rebuild your trust from the ground up. But they are ready to take that risk now, because losing you again isn't an option. They are gathering strength in silence, but movement is near. You will feel it before it happens, a shift, a pull, a whisper from your spirit. And when that moment comes, you'll know the time has arrived. Archangel Michael says, this distance was never meant to last forever. It was a spiritual intermission, not a goodbye. A divine delay to allow both of you to bloom separately before blooming together. Type Amen to get blessing 1977. Your heart still carries space for them, even if it's hidden under scars. Your soul recognizes theirs, even in silence. And soon, that silence will break with the sound of reunion. They are dreaming of walking beside you again, but this time with honesty and clarity. They don't want another temporary moment, they want a life. They want to hear you laugh freely again, without pain between you. They are coming not as the person who left, but as the one who learned. They now know what they're fighting for. And they won't let fear steal it again. Type Amen to get blessing 2088. You will feel their energy before you hear their voice. It may come as a sudden calm, or a dream that feels too real. It's your souls aligning before the physical catches up. They are going to admit things they once vowed to keep hidden. They will expose wounds they never told anyone about. Because their love for you has grown stronger than their need for pride. There's no more pretending. No more hiding behind silence. They are walking back toward you, slow, steady, and sure. Type Amen to get blessing 2177. This love was not ordinary, and it was never meant to end in silence. There was always a divine assignment on your bond. A purpose that goes beyond romantic affection, its healing, its destiny, its soul contract deep. Even the universe is aligning to clear the path for their return. Unexpected events will begin shifting around you. You'll find signs in music, numbers, and familiar words spoken by strangers. And when it happens, your heart will know it's time. Because the connection will feel like it never left, it only paused. And now, the divine play resumes with love reborn. Type Amen to get blessing 2274. They've made their peace with the past. They're ready to make peace with you. All that's left is your openness when they finally knock on the door of your heart. You are not forgotten. You are not unloved. You are the prayer they've been whispering into the sky for months. Archangel Michael says, stay soft. Because your softness is what saved this love from extinction. And your soul will be rewarded for its patience with a love that finally stands firm. Type Amen to get blessing 2400. They are watching you from a distance with eyes full of longing and regret. They're silently celebrating your growth, even though they're not beside you to witness it up close. They feel proud of how far you've come, but the ache of not being part of your journey burns inside them. They've imagined themselves beside you in the life you're building. They've wondered if there's still room for them in that future. The thought of being left behind terrifies them more than anything else. They never wanted the space to turn into a wall. They only hoped the time apart would make them better for you. But now, they're ready to tear down the wall themselves if it means holding your hand again. Type Amen to get blessing 2599. They've written messages to you they never sent. Some ended in tears, some in silence, all filled with truth they were scared to speak. Each word was soaked in sincerity, but fear stole their voice. Now, fear is losing. Your energy has been calling to them louder than ever. And they can't run from the pull any longer. They are planning their return step by step. Whether it's a voice note, a handwritten letter, or a message that simply says, "I miss you." It will come, and when it does, your soul will feel the shift. Type Amen to get blessing 2704. They want to confess why they acted the way they did. They want to explain the moments when they pushed you away while actually wishing you'd hold tighter. Their behavior never matched their heart, and that mismatch haunts them. They remember your laugh in the quiet moments. They hear your voice when their world grows too loud. You are the calm in their storm, even now. Their healing has taken time. They've been rebuilding the parts of themselves that they thought were too broken to share with you. Now they understand, you never needed perfection, just truth. Type Amen to get blessing 2832. They were afraid to show you the depths of their wounds. They feared your reaction, not knowing you carried your own battles with grace. But now they realize love isn't about hiding the dark, it's about embracing the light together. They've matured. The silence has taught them things no conversation ever could. They're no longer just feeling love, they're becoming it. Your connection is being watched over by the divine. Every delay, every tear, every pause had a purpose. It led to this coming chapter, one written in honesty, healing, and wholeness. Type Amen to get blessing 2969. Archangel Michael says, the time of separation is completing its cycle. The divine clock is striking alignment, and love is returning to its rightful place. Not with confusion, but with clarity. This time, they'll come with open hands, not hidden agendas. They won't promise perfection, but they'll vow transparency. You'll see in their eyes what words failed to say before, devotion. And when that moment comes, you'll feel peace instead of pain. Because this was always meant to return, after both of you remembered who you are. Not just to each other, but to yourselves. Type Amen to get blessing 3090. They're not asking for a reset, they're asking for a rebirth. A love rebuilt on deeper ground. A connection that won't shatter under pressure, because it's been refined by fire. This isn't just about romance, it's about souls recognizing each other after the storm. It's about walking through the ashes and still seeing beauty. It's about honoring the past, without being haunted by it. They have learned to love themselves because you once loved them without conditions. And now, they want to return that love back to you, multiplied. They are ready to be present, not just in body, but in spirit and truth. Type Amen to get blessing 3247. You deserve to hear the words you never got. You deserve to know the love you gave wasn't in vain. And you deserve the version of them that's no longer afraid. They want to hold your hand again, this time with no need to let go. They want to learn your new joys, your new routines, your new smile. Because even though time has changed some things, their heart for you remains untouched. The universe is moving to bring you both into the same space, spiritually and physically. Your energy is magnetizing this moment. And nothing will stop it when the divine finally gives the green light. Type Amen to get blessing 3390. You've loved in silence. Now, you'll be loved out loud. They're ready to speak where once they stayed quiet. Their apology will be real, and their presence will be consistent. They've done the inner work to show up fully. And they are hoping you'll meet them halfway, even if just with a listening heart. You've waited with grace. You've healed with hope. And now, you're being gifted a love that's been prepared for you all this time. Type Amen to get blessing 3511. The story isn't over. In fact, the most beautiful chapter is just beginning. One filled with peace, mutual understanding, and divine timing. This is not about returning to what was, but becoming something entirely new together. It's about rising from the silence, not with old pain, but with fresh love. You've both been changed, and that change is what will keep this love strong. Archangel Michael says, be ready. A sacred moment is approaching. And it carries the truth that will finally bring the closure, or the beginning, you've long prayed for. Type Amen to get blessing 3644. Their steps are guided now, not by fear, but by faith in what your soul still holds. You are not just someone they loved, you are the person they could never unlove. And your name will soon return to their lips, but this time, it will come with promise. No more hiding. No more confusion. Only the purity of love that has survived storms, silence, and time. The distance was hard, but it was never without purpose. And the return will be softer, deeper, and truer than the first hello. It will be the love you both always deserved, finally ready to bloom. Type Amen to get blessed.